So because he has not experienced it, therefore such power doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, you're right. An appeal to ignorance. Somebody who doesn't know about things. We talk about spiritual power and power of God, the supernatural power of God. The unbelievers and people in the world, we say, oh, that's a joke. They're playing a joke. No, there's not a joke to them because they have seen. Those that have say, okay, this will happen, then, and it came to happen, and then they now believe and know there is power. That's why God is angry and is to show his powers, appealing to ignorance. So because you have not experienced it, then you must die. And you must wait to be slaughtered by the sword of the angels. So those of you that make those arguments, the soldiers do not make such arguments. So we tell you. So when you hear something or somebody tells something, then you want to wait to see because it doesn't exist because you haven't experienced it. If it was something to kill you, then by the time you experience it, it would have harmed you and hurt you. Supposed to listen and find out and discern and let God help you to know. Some of you will give a message, you will dismiss it because somebody else has given you some other reason that is flawed, that is not right, or somebody is not even by reason because it's by faith. We believe. It is by faith you overcome, it's by faith you conquer. When we talk about the power of the secret society and the underworld, the darkness, Satan and all their agents, some people say, yeah, they don't believe in it. Or like here in America, no, they don't believe Illuminati existed because there is really no evidence to show they have existed and therefore it doesn't exist. But those that have spiritual eye knows, and we know how they operate in all the coverings. You can see. So there are bad people for some of you, like some of, in fact, I use an example in our church years ago when somebody, he wants to be a pastor so much, even though the Lord has not called him, that he was going around collecting money. Thank God he's no longer in our church. He was going around to collect money. Our church take no money for any service using the gift of God in our ministry. And he was going to collect, he went somewhere and collected money to do covenant breaking and cast out demons that was giving them problem according to the person. And there they were struck down unconscious, not breathing. And when there was nothing the doctor could do, they called me from the hospital to pray to get him to get up. And after that experience, anyway, that's a different story. So I am telling you as the soldiers, do not plead out of ignorance. What you don't know, you don't know. Don't dismiss it as a reason for you to give a counter argument. So if you want to dismiss it, you have to be reasonable in the way you dismiss such a statement. False dilemma or false dichotomy is another flawed reason why conflicts keep escalating, because most conflicts can easily be resolved, but it will be getting worse and worse because of all this flawed reasoning and fallacy. They are like a gas that fuels dispute and conflict. Example of dichotomy is what is happening, like what is happening in America. Oh, the Democrats, oh, Republican Party, and then whatever this one, these are the only two options. In my state, imagine in America, unless you belong to a Republican or Democracy, there is no middle ground. The independent, for example. If you want to be independent, then you will not have the option to select your leader. such a law is flawed, and then we have a court and a judge that allowed it to sit. People should have a choice to be independent and vote like in most of the states in America. But for their personal reason, they made it impossible that me as an independent will either choose to join the Republican or join the Democrats. That's a false dilemma. It puts me in jeopardy of my freedom. In Nigeria, it's either north or south. The two extreme is either we are one Nigeria or we go to war. And the argument is more favorable from people who are professors of law. When man is made and given the intelligence to resolve their dispute in the most amicable and peaceful manner. False dichotomy. Oh, that everybody should be united. But meanwhile, Nigeria as two countries were north and south that was merged together in order to be more governable. North protectorate and southern protectorate. And in southern protectorate, there were nations forced to be together. So also were in the north. The Kanuris are not the Hausas, neither the Hausas are the Fulanis. And the Fulanis were not even Nigerians. But in order for government, they brought them together, just as they did in Cameroon. But yet in Nigeria, there were Western Nigeria, and there were Eastern Nigeria, there were Northern Nigeria. I think there were three before, three different areas. Now they now have Midwestern Nigeria later on. Now they divided the states. You see, they say that division is bad, right? Look at the argument. Division is bad. But meanwhile, they have split before, and each split from the time they created the Eastern Nigeria, the Western Nigeria brought development to the people and good to the people. They created Western Nigeria, Midwestern Nigeria. It brought development